What are you suggesting? Like a club?
Yeah, something like that.
What? Like a bunch of super friends?
More like a Justice League.
As far as we know, we aren't sure when the next film in the Rebirth continuity, we'll call it, is going to be. I'm going under the assumption that one of the movies releasing this year is set in the Rebirth universe, and my guess as to which one is Green Lantern Beware My Power. But I think the real question ever since Justice League Society World War II has been, when will this version of the Justice League form? 2 films later in The Long Halloween Part 2, there's a post-credit scene teasing the formation of the League.
It's for you, sir.
But I personally hope we are still a few movies away. I don't think we need solo movies for every character before we get there, but I would like for some of them to be a bit more established and for this world to be fairly fledged out. I think the movies are actually moving in the right direction, which is reason to be excited for what's to come. And that's what I'd like to discuss today. The future of this universe. I'm going to speculate on what's possible and just talk about what I want to see, mainly just talk about the movies and characters I'd like to see before we get to the Justice League film. So let's start with what I am assuming to be the 5th film set in the Rebirth continuity, Green Lantern Beware My Power.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
We know this movie is happening, but we don't know much else. I don't want to waste too much time speculating because I'm sure there will be a trailer soon and we'll be able to put some pieces together once we've seen that. We'll know if it's connected to this continuity or not. All I'll say is, it's about time we finally get a new Green Lantern movie. Moving on to the movie I want after that, if it is indeed set within the Rebirth timeline.
Okay? We're telling the truth. Something is very, very wrong with reality. Yeah.
And that is a Green Arrow and Flash movie. This to me seems like a bit of a far cry, just because I really don't trust WB Animation to give Green Arrow his own movie, even if it is with the Flash as well, but it would be smart and could be great for a multitude of reasons. This could be some kind of pseudo-Arrowverse animated movie involving 2 completely versions of the characters we all love. Also, as Flash and Green Arrow we see together during the end credits of The Long Halloween. What were those guys up to before that? I'd like to know.
Any ideas?
Oh, now you'll listen to me?
It's your city.
My fear is they only made that decision because of what I just mentioned though. The Arrowverse. Audiences had grown accustomed to seeing those 2 characters together fairly regularly. I hope that's not the only reason they made the choice, and that they are planning for Green Arrow to be a big part of this universe. We haven't gotten a lot of him in DC animation lately. He's a character they can do a lot with, and one that could set this entire franchise apart from what came before.
Grandstanding and...
Glad you could make it.
The next movie would be a Superman Man of Tomorrow sequel. I don't know if it's weird wanting a sequel to a solo movie before the big team-up movie or not, but this and my previous choice somewhat go hand in hand. I want to be more acquainted with these versions of Superman and Flash before actually getting to the big Justice League movie.
I thought Martians only existed in the movies.
Those movies are terrible.
We had 2 movies with Batman. Sure, it's a 2-parter and it only feels like one, but that's double the screen time. Superman started this universe and Flash just deserves more. We briefly saw Brainiac in Justice Society World War II, or a form of. I seriously hope it wasn't the actual Brainiac, because if so, what a waste. I still don't really think I've seen the version of Brainiac I truly desire on screen, so I'm definitely open for him to return in the future.
You were just... and then... I guess it doesn't matter. Great work.
I think there's a few different routes you could go in terms of the villain here. I'd be open to Brainiac returning and being corrected in this world. But there are 2 more villains I think could be used to tell a really compelling story with the Man of Steel, those being General Zod and Bizarro. Zod surprisingly hasn't been used much in the realm of animation. He's obviously one of the greatest Superman villains though, deeply rooted in the character's mythos, and I don't see too many people complaining if he's the choice. Bizarro is currently being done, and Superman and Lois, I've watched none of the second season, so I have no idea how that's been, but I know if done right, Bizarro is an extremely tragic character. You can tell a very emotional and compelling story with him. I think Bizarro is the perfect choice for a Superman who only recently realized the hero he needs to be.
Find your people.
And you, Kal-El?
It's Superman. My people are right here.
And after this, I think I'd be ready for a Justice League movie. I'm not sure what Justice League story they are most likely to draw inspiration from, but just with the characters they've set up or introduced in this continuity so far, including the ones in the alternate timeline of Justice Society World War II, I could see Identity Crisis really working here, at least elements of it. It's a comic that is long overdue for an adaptation. I'd love to see this universe's take on Deathstroke, and I really want to see some of the lesser-used Justice League members shine.
No, don't kill me! Not before I find out who Holiday is!
And now I actually want to pitch a few movies I think could follow this version of the Justice League. The first two are both Batman movies, and he's honestly the only character I have specific ideas for. I think following Long Halloween, it just makes sense to do No Man's Land. And I think we are long overdue for a proper adaptation of Nightfall.
Yes, I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit or your body?
I think these storylines could make for a great series of animated Batman movies. There is so much potential. Aside from that, I'd want a Wonder Woman movie, a proper Flash solo movie. Just give me an entire movie of Flash battling his rogues, please. And I'd want a third Superman movie to add to the one I pitched today, we'll say, and the one already in existence. I'd also love a Green Arrow Black Canary movie, a solo Aquaman movie. There's a lot I want as a DC fan. I'm sure we all want a lot, and I know we can't get it all, but hopefully we get at least some of what was discussed today. I hope they extend this build to the Justice League out a bit. I'm open to this universe going for as many movies as it needs to at this point. It seems they have an idea with what they are doing. I don't hate any of the 4 movies. Long Halloween was one of the best animated Batman movies in recent years. I was a bit negative on the idea of this universe before that movie, which looking back, I don't understand why. I'm usually open to most things, but this animation style just really threw me at first. Like I said then, though, I'll get used to the style. The storytelling itself has been fairly strong, which is why I'm excited to see what is next and where this universe takes us. Let me know what movies you'd like to see in the Rebirth continuity down in the comments below. Which ones do you think we're likely to get? If you have video recommendations, leave them down in the comments below if you'd like to see me discuss this universe further in the future, which, with more movies, I'm definitely going to. That's just inevitable. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Support me on this journey. There's going to be plenty more DC animated content on this channel. I cover it all, the DCAU, the DCAMU, these Rebirth movies, one-off movies, anything that is DC animation is fair game. Anything that is DC or superhero in general, fair game. Most of you guys already know that by now. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Expose his wings.
I'm open to suggestions.
Oh, now you're listening to me?
It's your city, Oliver.